I'm Pete Kaffenberger. I'm PYB's Social Impact Manager. I do our measurement and evaluation work. I make our academic curriculum, pitch in on a bunch of stuff that everyone does in a small nonprofit. So a little bit of research, a little bit of program design. It's really hard to choose some kind of favorite moment when I look across the years when I see kids grow in the program. And not only kids, coaches grow in the program, and they talk about how much PYB has meant to them and how they view themselves as a mentor. Just this past year, I watched one of our coaches see a kid, notice that a kid is a little bit down, pull him to the side, and find out that the kid was having some trouble because he was embarrassed about his weight. I saw this coach walk the kid outside, talk to him quietly away from everybody to not embarrass him, and then give him a ride home. And the kid showed up to practice the next day just feeling like he's a part of a team and cared about. You can't manufacture experiences like that in a kid's life. Feeling heard and seen and valued and loved. It's not just a basketball program, and it's not just a mentorship program. It's a holistic experience for the coaches and mentors, and there's some really powerful stuff. That's one off the top of my head that I saw this past year. Every program has, a beautiful anecdotal story about how a kid has grown or how young people thrive through their intervention. What we're trying to do at PYB, and what a lot of organizations are getting smarter about now, is looking at the research and best practices and seeing what works for kids, understanding what helps them grow and thrive, and what's a sustainable practice that a kid can take in a skill and then have it for the rest of their life. So we've seized on the social and emotional learning framework. There's such a huge, fastly growing body of research showing that kids that are socially and emotionally not just stable, but they develop these skills that they can use across a variety of contexts and through their lives. These kids that have skills like this, they're able to adjust and adapt and thrive and be resilient. They're able to learn and be confident and grow and have relationships. It's what we all know we need to have as people, these life skills, but there's more and more hard science behind it now. And we're looking at that science and trying to get all of the best practices into our programs so that our kids have not only the best, most fun program experience, but they experience the most growth and the most measurable growth that will sustain them across all areas of their life. Continuous improvement of our programs is a fundamental reason why we do measurement and evaluation. For instance, these past 2 years, we've worked with company Algorithm, who has a tool, Hello Insight, to measure sport-based youth development programs and a lot of social and emotional skills that kids develop within them. One of the recommendations we got after the kids took a pre-test survey, this is a validated, reliable survey that Hello Insight, that Algorithm made. One of the recommendations they gave us from the pre-test survey was kids need more peer-to-peer engagement. We learned about their learning styles, that they really enjoy peer-to-peer engagement, that they enjoy being physical and active while they're learning. The peer-to-peer piece was something that we had a blind spot for. We try to structure our program so much that we miss that kids are playing with each other and they're having fun and they're there to see each other, not some adult, even though they do come to love and respect their coaches. A little bit of insight like that can improve our programs for the long haul and keep kids coming back and voting with their feet and giving us more access to them. Basketball can be a hook for kids to come into our programs, but once they're in, having the program continuously be fun and treat them with respect and take their recommendations into account allows for the program to thrive and for kids to grow and achieve all the things we want them to achieve. In all of our programs, we spend half the time on the court doing basketball skills, drills, gameplay, and scrimmages, and the other half in an academic setting, but not a traditional school academic setting. We do read and write and critically think and discuss and debate, and it is guided by the coaches, but we try to uplift youth voice and really get their perspective on important societal issues in each and every academic hour. So for instance, we'll find a bunch of articles about what's going on in society right now. We'll ask kids about What do you think about criminal justice reform? What does that even mean to you? Do you know what the criminal justice system is? Do you understand, for instance, Meek Mill's situation? What's probation and parole? How did he get caught up from popping a wheelie? Why is the system the way that it is? And how would you change it if you were in charge? We want kids to take ownership in their communities and really see themselves in the issues. So we try to access that through people that they know and care about and follow. You can read an article about Kobe Bryant's Mamba mentality, and the coaches might pose a question about, how does Kobe's mindset apply to you? How would you use it on and off the court? How would you have this dogged determination in the classroom? Where's a situation where thinking like this could have helped you? We do a lot of intentional, deliberate, social and emotional learning modules from established curricula. We had a great one this year on communication styles, and we talked about aggressive, passive-aggressive, assertive, and passive communication. And the feedback we got from coaches was that kids were understanding that, when they feel something or when they react to something, they're in control of how the interaction goes by how they communicate. And they can recognize how other people communicate and not have a toxic interaction, or they can de-escalate a situation or really think about how they're communicating. Something like that, having that tool in your social and emotional skill toolbox is absolutely vital to having a good life where you get everything that your potential allows for. Something as small as a conversation with a coach where you really think about how you're communicating, or you think about a mindset, or you think about something as big as criminal justice reform or the NCAA or all these big systems that seem so adult and foreign to kids. It gives kids the feeling that they're a part of the big picture and their perspective matters. And that matters to us a lot. And the research shows that when kids feel like they're being heard and that their voice matters, they're bought in and they see how they can help their own communities, there are all kinds of great outcomes from that. Over my time with PYB, I've been so grateful to be put in position to do the work that I do. I care about what I do and what I get to think about and the problems I get to work on every day. I like working with kids. I like thinking about how to improve everyone's circumstances. Having a small part in this work is really meaningful to me. So I'd like to thank everyone for the support up to this point. I'd also like to acknowledge that during these really difficult times, our kids are going through this stuff too. And they don't have access to all the resources to understand it. And a lot of times a coach or a mentor or just seeing how their peers are interacting with the situation is a big deal. And we'd like to ask you to put us in position to work with kids and give them the opportunity to think through what's happening in our world right now, because it's happening to them. We thank you for all of your support to this point, and it's more critical than ever that kids have access to programs like PYB. So, thanks.